Welcome back to another session. So today would be whatever time it is. Welcome back. So today we would go deeper into the animation, and actually the last class I was rushing through a lot. We are going to delete all this. Yeah. Just so you remember where we were. Where were we? We were here, moving to here. Now it's that easy. So remember I talked about the properties and their values. They increase and they reduce. The values increase, the values reduce. Always make sure to understand the properties and their values. So today I want you to go and research more on them. If you check the data, we see that we are going by 24 frames per second. What are 24 frames per second? It means that when you come here, this is one frame, 2, 3, 4. You can actually expand it quite large. Yeah, I think I made quite a blunder. Alright, so you can, as you can see, I could expand it quite largely and reduce it. So yeah, just trying to get just one number, that number there. So I'm trying to get that number. So yes, I've been trying to do that. So it means that each frame, so when I am moving, meaning a second, 24 frames passes by. So in other words, when I press play, and if we calculate by 24, that is at least 4 seconds. Yes, or no, less than 4 seconds. 20, 20, 20, 4, 4, 4. Yeah, that is 72 seconds. No, 72, no. That is 3 seconds, 8 more frames to go, if you understand what I mean. So if we move it down to 72 here and press G, this is exactly 3 seconds. So we are looking at 3 seconds here. So it takes 3 seconds for this box. Let's move it. G. Good evening. So this is takes 3 seconds for the box to move from point A to point B. And then if you notice, after that, nothing is happening. Why is nothing happening? Because animation is literally happening in between frames, just in between frames. And this is literally any animation that is computer generated. This is how it works. Everything, all the cartoons you've watched, all the VFX fire, all the VFX lightning, sound, water, everything is in between frames. Now, what's next? What are we going to do next? We are going to dive more deeply into this. So we would go into the graph editor. Now if you notice something, I could tell you to press normalize. Yes. So now if you notice, when you start from 0, how did I get to the graph editor, you might ask? I just tapped here from under timeline graph editor. So now you might ask, when you press here and you press play, it moves. But if you notice something, please excuse me a little. Let me fix the time for this to be 72. 72, enter. So when I come back here, it just repeats. If you notice, this starts at a certain speed and moves at a certain speed and stops at a certain speed. Move speed, slow. Move speed, slow. So now if you understand that, then you look at this graph actually very well. You see that it moves and then it increases and then it stops. Now, why does it stop? In fact, if you might not even understand the colors, but there's something you should notice. The colors are the same with the, what's the word, consistent with your view, your ZXY or your XYZ. So this here is the only active color Z. This is the only active color because it's just moving on a straight line. Just moving on a straight line. Sorry, color Y, not Z, Y. The speed at which it moves is Y. So now if you check more, you will notice that it just keeps on opening and opening and opening down to this. So now it is the Y location that we notice is being moved. So you can see the color Y, Z is just straight, X too is just straight, nothing is there. But when we press Y is what is moving. So now we can tweak it. How do we tweak it? We can reduce it.
Are we ready?
Excuse me. So now I hope you just saw what I did. Let me do this. All right, now let's check the speed this time. You might not have noticed. All right. So it means that the speed moves so fast you can't actually see it. But if I come back to the timeline here and I increase this to, let's say, 300, and I move this frame all the way here, well, it's still the same thing. So when you move on your graph editor, when you move on your graph editor, it affects whatever it is you're doing. Alright, let's come back again. I believe there's a problem I made, there's a mistake I made. I made a mistake here. Alright, so we'll come back to our graph editor. This is what it's meant to be. So here and then and then we press play. And this is actually what it's meant to do. So can you see the difference in speed than what it was before? I'm very sure you have seen there is a difference in speed. See the speed in which this one comes. But if you go back and you see, now see this one. Are you seeing that you can see the origin of this one because it starts at a slow speed at a slow rate. It starts at a slow rate. But if you look at the other one, you can't see how that one comes in. It just comes in, moves very fast. All right. Now I will introduce you to something called interpolation. There is something called the constant, the linear, and the Bezier interpolation. The shortcut is T in your animation outlet. When you come here and you come to animation, everything here, when you press T, mostly for your graph editor, your timeline, dope sheet drivers, linear, non-linear animation. So when you press T and press constant, it has been done for you. No, nothing is happening. Why is nothing happening? Oh, set different position, linear. What is wrong with this? Okay, so well, at the moment it's not working. I do not know why, but normally, let's start this one again. So go to the timeline, delete all, and then just press So when we go to the graph editor and we press T and we press, first you have to notice that it is just like that. Then you press T and then you press linear. Good, now it's working. So we've done, once we press linear, you notice that it becomes a line, but before it was not a line, it was a Bezier. Why was it a Bezier? The computer thought that, okay, obviously you would not want it to be in a linear, and so the computer helps you put it in a Bezier. Why is it in a Bezier? It means that it starts at a certain speed, moves fast, and then slows down. But then when you put it in a linear, let's see how it plays out. A linear just goes straight. It just keeps going. Yeah, this constant speed is the same. The speed is constant. It just keeps moving. Just keeps moving. But then how about we change it to a constant? This is more interesting now. What do you think it will do? What do you think it will do? According to this graph, it's trying to tell us that it would not do anything. It would be at rest constantly, and then at a certain speed which we would not be able to see, move up. Let's play it and find out. This guy just turned to the flash. So as you can see, animation is quite interesting if you know what to do with it. Now, what else can we do in the next 6 minutes? What else can I show you? All right, why don't we put all what we've done now into practice? How about we do this? I remember I told you something about rotation, location, and scale. Why don't we play with that too? Because if you notice here, it talks about not just the location, but the rotation and the scale, and we've not worked on those. So let's work on that. Let's work on that. And remember, we are still on constant. So now our frame has been set at this. Remember, the location is constantly 0 here, apart from location Y. So when we move down here, we would actually have to delete this brother. We have to delete him. And so when we move down here, G to Y, we can also rotate according to Y. Remember, whatever you're doing, as you're rotating, look at it's increasing. Or if you you can reduce it back again to 0. Do you understand? So don't think that rotating it more than once will rotate according to the amount of times you do it. All right. So let's just do a complete 360. Yeah, I think that's okay. Then we scale it down as though it's entering into a black hole, and then we press I. And now let's see what it looks like in our graph editor. We come back here. We don't want, let's see what constant feels like. We would not see anything. We will not see anything. Yeah, we won't see anything because it's moving at a speed your eyes cannot follow. But let's see what linear looks like. Apparently, this, what they call it, so is misbehaving, as you can see. It's not working, but I believe you understand what I'm trying to do. Let's just rework the whole thing. Delete. So let's just put it here and say this is our I, and then move here. G is coming to Y. Scale up. Rotate according to Y. To 0, enter. Rotate according to Y. 1, no, minus 361. Alright, so let me press I, and then let's go and see if it works. It will obviously work, yeah. So now, if you play it from here, did you just see that? How about we do it in a linear version? Let's see what it looks like linearly, moving with the same speed, just moving with the same speed. What about T? Constant. Yeah, can you see that? Total. All right, so I would love you guys to work on more. Be creative with your mindset. Practice is just my watchword. It's what I'll keep telling you to do. And time is up. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you learned a lot. I hope you would go and learn more, and I hope you would practice, not just learn. Good night. Good day.